Hello, my name is Ali Zakir. I'm a techno-functional consultant with AblyPro. Today will be the second video in a series of videos where we'll be talking about field service, in particular Salesforce field service management. So we're going to pick up from where we left off last time, and today we're just going to continue going through the basic settings and configuration for field service management. So we're going to enable field service, then we're going to install the managed package, then we'll talk a little bit about permission sets, then we'll talk about OWD, the sharing rules, geolocation settings that we have in field service, the optimization profile, field service, page layouts specifically for field service, and then we're going to do a demo, which is the entire presentation will be a demo where we're actually in the org itself. So let's jump over to the org. So what we're first going to do is go to settings, and let me see if I have it here. Yeah, okay. So go to field service. So we want to go to field service settings. And we did this last time. The first thing we want to do is just enable field service, which I already have here. It's enabled. So the first thing we want to do is enable it, give it a few seconds, and then you'll enable it, and then we can continue. The next step we want to do is actually install the managed package. So what we want to do there is, let me just open up. We want to open up a new browser window, and we want to basically use this URL here, which is fsl.secure.force.com/install. Once you go there, it'll give you an option to install field service. And let me see if I have a window open. Actually, no, I don't. So we'll just do it right now. So once you come to this window here, you'll see two options: install in production and install in a sandbox. What we want to do is install in production, and then what it'll ask you for your login credentials. So go ahead and you would type in your login credentials for the org that you want to install the managed package in. Once you've installed it, it'll typically take a few minutes to install. It'll give you an option under which users you want to install it under, and you want to install it under admins. So once you've installed it, and what we're going to do here is, and once again, this will take a few minutes to install, and we want to go to managed. Nope, not there. So what you want to type actually is installed. Once you type in installed, you'll see installed packages. And then if you look down here, you will see the FSL package name is here. And what you're looking for, and there's the date you have here, and the status is active. So you've installed it, and it's good to go. The other thing that you can check to see and make sure everything got installed correctly is if you come over here, if you just type in field, you'll see two applications, field service and field service admin. And that way you know that you've installed the package and it's good to go. Next, what we're going to do is look at permission sets. So let's go to setup. So next, what we want to do actually is we want to go to users. Under users, you'd select the user that you want to set up the permission set. I have limited licenses in this org, so I'm just going to go ahead and select myself here. And then we want to go to permission set assignments. So as you can see here, currently I'm assigned the field service admin, the field service dispatcher license, and the field service dispatcher permissions. You're just going to click on edit assignments. So typically you're going to have your dispatchers, you're going to have admins, and you'd have your field technicians, your service resources. So if you look here, there's a bunch of um, licenses and permission sets specifically for field service. So we have field service admin license and agent license, agent permissions, bundle bundle for dispatcher permissions, community again, permissions. There's a guest permission set there. The one that's important is for your mobile workers or your field service technicians who work out in the field. So they would require this mobile license here. And then there's a few more here. You have resource licenses and a self-service. So once you've set up your users that you typically do in Salesforce, you would just come here under permission sets and give them the specific licenses and permissions that they need. So for right now, I've assigned myself these three settings: admin, dispatcher, and dispatcher permission. But as I said, for your specific users that you would have, you would assign them the appropriate licenses and permissions. So I'm just going to cancel out of here for now. So there's one step that I actually forgot to do, which we need to do actually first before we can assign the permission sets and the licenses to individual users. We need to come to the field service admin app. So you come here, let's go to field service admin. You want to go to the field service settings. And then here under the get started next to it, you'll see these permission sets here. So there'll be a bunch here. So like, for example, we have the field service dispatcher, field service resources, field service agent, self-service, guest user, service community, dispatcher, field service admin, field service bundled for dispatcher, field service integration. So I've already enabled these, but what you would see, you'd see a blue button here, which would enable you to enable each individual permission set. So what you'd want to do is go ahead and click the green button to create and set up the permission sets. So you do that individually for each type of user, and that'll take a few seconds to do. Once you do that, then you'll see what it says here: permission set is set up to date, and then you're good to go. So this is actually the first step you do. You create the permission sets. After you've created the permission sets, you'd go to your users and then give the users the appropriate licenses and permission sets that they require. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the sharing settings, the OWD sharing settings for Salesforce and specifically for field service. So we're just going to type in here sharing. And then we're going to go to sharing settings, which I already have up here. And we're going to click on edit. So for your org and for your particular needs, you'd need you would determine what settings you would ultimately need. But some of the specific objects that we have with field service. So if we scroll down here, we have service appointment, service contract, well, not service contract, but service crew, service resources, service territory. So if we look at service appointment, currently it's set to private. But if we felt on your particular instance, you needed to change the OWD settings, obviously we have here public read only and then public read write. For example, another one that you might want to consider changing or at least looking into and just confirming what your OWD settings are is location. And once again, we have private read write and things of that nature. Another one that would be important that comes with field service is work order. Currently it's set to private. So all the settings I have here are actually default out the box settings. But once again, depending upon your environment and what you're looking to do, you can change these accordingly. So work order is an important one that you want to look at. So after you've installed field service, you'd want to come in here and just confirm and see what your settings are for your OWD. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to field service, go to the settings that we have, field service settings. Now, once you've enabled this, you'll notice that you have all of these other settings down here also for your environment. So we're not going to talk about all of these, but hand in hand with the sharing, you'd notice here we have share dispatched service appointments with the assigned resource. And if you want some more information about what that is, you can have a look at the help here. But typically, this is something that we do want to enable. Once you've enabled that, you'll get two more options here. The one that we're interested in right now is share service appointments, parent work orders with their assigned resource. And once again, there's a help here, so you can read into that a bit more. But this is another one that we want to enable for now also. Once you've checked those off, we want to just click on save. So next, what we want to talk about is geolocation. So geolocation is important because when we have our field technicians out in the field, we want to know where they are. So when we're calculating travel times from one location to the other location, when we want to know where the field technician is, we need their geolocation. So there's a handful of objects that utilize the geolocation information, and we just need to confirm the settings for that. So after we've installed the managed package, you'll see these settings. So if we go to data integration rules, there's actually 6 settings that we need to look at and just confirm their settings. By default, they're unchecked, but it's a good idea to just go in there and confirm them and things of that nature. So the first one is here's the resource absence address. So the setting we're looking for is bypass triggers. And we want to just confirm that is unchecked. So as it's unchecked, the geolocation will be executed. In other words, it will be enabled and it won't be bypassed from the triggers. So we're just going to go through the 6 settings. So that was one. Service appointment address is the other one. That's unchecked. Then we go to service territory address. Once again, that's unchecked, bypass triggers. Then I think we just looked at this one, bypass triggers. Territory member address, bypass triggers is unchecked. And then we're going to just look at work order address and work order line items. So once again, it's unchecked. And then the last one here, that's unchecked also. And this is for the work order line item. So once again, there's 6 of them. We just want to come in here and confirm that they're unchecked for the bypass trigger. The other setting that we want to look at and enable is if we go to, yeah, here we go. If we go to the field service admin, field service settings, and we come to the optimization. So you'll see here optimization profile activation, and we have this box here. You need when the optimization engine is running and executing, it uses a license, Salesforce license that can run in the background and execute those schedules and optimize everything. I don't have it enabled right now because I don't have a spare license, but typically what you would do is, first of all, you would create a user, a dedicated user that would be used to run the schedule. Once you have that user, you would create optimized profile, and then you'd associate the user you have specifically for the optimizer from here. So that's one of the settings that you do need to do. The next thing we're going to do is when we install the managed package for field service, it installs a number of new objects, and it also creates page layouts for existing objects that we have. So we're just going to have a look at that. So what we will do, we'll go to setup. And then we'll go to object manager. And let's just go to service appointments. And then we will go to page layouts. So here you have the regular service appointment layout, and then you have one specifically for field service service appointments. So what we want to do here is, and this applies to other objects that we would have also. We'd go to page layout assignments, and as you can see here, all of the for the specific profiles, they're all assigned the service appointment layout. What we want to do actually is come to edit assignment, and we want to select field service appointment layout. And for right now, I'm just going to assign these profiles here. And we want to just save it. So now, did that not work? Let me check again. Let's do that again. Oh, that's interesting. I'm just gonna all of them. Oh, that's why. Okay, so select the profiles and then you select the layout. Okay, so now it updated correctly. So this would apply for the other objects that you might have in the system. So let's go back to Object Manager. Another one that we could look at is work order. So that's obviously an important one. So work orders, go to your page layouts, and let's go to page layout assignment. Now this, for work orders, I've already assigned the FSL work order layout for the standard user and the administrator. Let's look at another one. Oops. Did not want to check that. We go to back here, setup. So let's look at location, page layouts. And we only have one page layout, so there's not a specific one for field service. But if we were to look at, argument's sake, operating hours. So operating hours has regular operating hours, and it does have an FSL specific layout. And then once again, if we need to change that specifically for field service, we can. And once again, I've already assigned it here for the standard user and the sysadmin for those layouts. And the FSL layouts, they'll have additional fields that are specific for field service. That's why we want to use those layouts. So yeah. So that's what we're going to end there in terms of what we talked about. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask them. You can leave comments and we can get back to you. Um, so once again, if you do need to contact us, here's our contact information, our phone, our email, as well as our social media. Hopefully, some of this information was useful for you and you'd be able to use them in your basic initial setup and configuration for field service. Once again, thanks for joining and have a great day. Bye.